morning. I'm Kathleen Ganley, NDP Energy Critic, and I'm joined here today by Joe Ceci, NDP Municipal Affairs Critic. We're speaking today on the traditional territory of the signatories of Treaty 7, and I'd like to acknowledge the Métis people of Alberta who share a deep connection and history with this land. Over the last 48 hours, it has become clear that the UCP is completely adrift. Their party is divided, their MLAs are divided, and they struggled for hours to decide who will be the caretaker premier in the coming months. Meanwhile, Alberta families are facing serious challenges that demand real action and a focused and unified team. Inflation is higher than it has been in a generation. Groceries, gasoline, children's clothing, everything is getting more expensive. But incredibly, this UCP government is forcing Albertans to pay more for income tax, more for property tax, more for tuition, more interest on student debt, more camping, more for electricity, more for natural gas, and more for car insurance. Despite oil prices remaining over $100, we're not seeing the job creation that we should be. Our downtown offices are still vacant, and Calgary has the highest unemployment rate of any major Canadian city. At the same time, there's a real crisis happening in Alberta healthcare. Tens of thousands of Alberta families can't find a family doctor. So when they get sick, when their kids get sick, they have nowhere to go but to the emergency room. Ambulance wait times are longer than ever before. Wait times to get into the emergency room are longer than before at every single Calgary hospital. One family waited more than 10 hours to get their child's broken arm seen by a doctor at the Alberta Children's Hospital this week. Across the province, there are more than 20 communities where the hospitals are partially closed due to staffing shortages. Alberta families need better than an absentee government. It's clear that the UCP leadership race will just be another moment of inaction and infighting. Regardless of who staggers out of the process, the UCP will continue to be a divided and dysfunctional party. To Albertans who are exhausted and frustrated by this UCP drama, let me say this. Rachel Notley and our Alberta NDP team are competent and energized and ready to go. We are ready to act to strengthen public health care, to keep money in your pocket, and to create good paying jobs to support your families. Thank you, and I'm now happy to take your questions. Yeah, I disagree very strongly. This province is facing a crisis. People are unable to afford their basic costs. Hospital wait times are getting longer. People don't have family physicians. We haven't seen jobs returning or wage growth returning to this province. And this UCP government has been focused on everything else except that. And so, yeah, I think that that's incredibly problematic.
The fact that you won't be fighting us, the leadership you, don't you think that will have given some ability to focus on the task?
Well, again, government is generally governed by the entire government. So, we're going to see Premier Kenney doing who knows what. And meanwhile, the entire caucus and cabinet are going to be divided, and they're going to continue to be focused internally on themselves. And this is a moment in time when we really need them to be focused on Albertans and what Albertans need.
Something similar from the UCP. Can you talk a little bit about what your preparation is like right now as it pertains to the May election, which may really come a lot sooner than that?
What I can tell you is that we have a team that is nominating some incredible people. We have energy experts, we have farmers, we have doctors, nurses, we have teachers, and we are a team who is competent and focused and ready to focus on the priorities of Albertans. We've made a very deliberate choice to stay focused on that, and we will be ready to go.
How distracting in your mind is this, whatever's happening right now? It's like the biggest on. How distracting is that for Albertans who do have other things on their mind?
Yeah, I think Albertans are focused on what they need. They need good paying jobs, they need a cost of living that's affordable, and they need health care that's accessible to them. And I think the UCP government is focused on none of those things.
We'll now move to questions on the phone. Reminder to press *9 if you're calling in over over the phone, and raise hand if you're calling in on Zoom. Michelle, your line should be open.
Oh, hi, Kathleen. Sorry if I ask a question that's been asked before, because I literally could not hear any of the questions to the reporters that are out there in person. So my apologies. Kathleen, I wanted to ask you a little bit about accountability. The Premier, it's been 48 hours since the Premier said that he intends to resign as leader. We haven't had, no one has had a chance, no one in the media has had a chance to ask him questions. Like a news conference that was promised for yesterday never happened. And of course, we all know about the photo opportunity this morning. So I just wonder, what do you think about that?
Well, I think, again, that this is a government that's focused on their own internal drama. They're failing to focus on what Albertans need. And I think that would make them reluctant to take questions. A government is elected to govern. They're elected to be there for the people. And this is a government that isn't doing that.
Do you have a follow-up, Michelle?
No, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to our next caller. Dylan, your line should be open. Dylan, go ahead. Your line is open. Let's try that one more time. Dylan Short, your line is open, and you can ask your question for MLA CC or MLA Ganley right now. Sorry, Dylan, we'll follow up with you afterwards. One last pass for questions. *9 on the phone and raise hand on Zoom. Seeing no more questions online. One more in person.
I know it's not your party, UCP is not your party, but do you have an idea of what you would like to see from a leader for your opponents?
Honestly, I continue to be focused on Albertans and the concerns of Albertans. I think that's what I was elected to do. The UCP and their focus on their own internal drama has completely taken their focus off the crisis they've created in healthcare, the crisis they've created in cost of living. So what I would like to see is a government focused on Albertans.
That will conclude today's press conference, everyone. And Dylan will follow up with you now.
So much for watching, and to learn more, check out albertasfuture.ca.